Hello everybody. So what I was using in this build, I go over gear real quick. I'm using 2 clubs for crit base chance, really nice. With clubs they can go up to 12%. And for stat wise, what you're looking for is flat damage, so you can go with pierce damage or fire damage. It's going to scale up a little better if it's fire. The pierce damage, you kind of want to have that replaced with weapon percent, because the percent pierce is not really helping us, and the ailment is not really helping us either, because we're trying to just one-hit stuff anyway, so ailment you don't need. The physical damage is helping us a little bit, so you do want physical or fire. So if you can get fire, physical, weapon, percent, and flat damage on there, that'd be perfect. So try and get that on both weapons. So this is my other weapon, it's just in case you're curious. Then on all your gear, you want at least some might. So I got vigor might on here. I got crit and might on here. My helmet. I did this for mana sustain, but if I wanted to change this out, I would try and take off the +3 energy regeneration for more might. Boots. Just movement speed. I got tri resistances on that just to help me survive a little bit, but I would love to have a little bit of might in there as well, maybe replace the poison. Gloves, you want fire percent. It scales a little bit better than flat physical percent, or not flat physical, but physical percent. So you want fire percent and might on here. Glancing hits chance also kind of helps for survival. Your rings, you want flat damage and either physical or fire percent and some crit chance. So you want that on both of your rings. I'm using this ring just for the regen, and it does come with some fire percent on there as well. But yeah, if I get a ring that's kind of like that, I would replace this. For your necklace, you want the Moonclaw. That way, every time you crit, you get a little bit of energy back. The only bad thing about a Fisher build is the initial hit requires 70 energy, so it's very energy dependent. So you either want to one-hit stuff, or do you want to crit all the time? So this kind of helps with maintaining that 70 energy per hit. So, let's get into these stats. So, what you want to do for attributes is just go all the way into might, because might will branch off and resolve, which gives you more fire damage. We are scaling off of fire damage. We're also getting a little bit of strike damage and stuff too as well that gets converted into fire damage. So let's go into, we'll start off with earth. Actually, we'll start off with core. So for this particular build, you want to go 3 into dash attack and 1 in celerity, because we don't exactly need attack speed for this build, because it's more like a big heavy hit bonk build, sort of like that. So we don't need too much attack speed in this build, but you do want to get that dash attack for more crit chance and damage. So let's go back into earth and let's talk about Fisher. So like I said before, Fisher is very energy dependent, and we went with slam attack so we can scale off of our weapon. And then after that, we dumped all of our points into damage. Now I know if we go into additional Fishers, like, it shows that we have a lot more damage, but that's calculating for if the other Fisher hits, which it only accounts for 1 anyway, so we're actually losing damage if we take that. It may look good, but it's not helping us out at all. But if you want a little bit of AoE clearance, then go with additional Fisher, but you are going to take a little hit on damage. So this is what I recommend. And if you go with lava, the only thing that's bad about lava is we are now using up 100 energy. Very hard to sustain that, especially in boss fights. You don't want lava Fisher, so this is what we do right here. And but yeah, hopefully that kind of explains some things. The additional Fishers they're not helping you out, so don't get those. Alright, so now that we talked about that, let's go into our aura, which is earth enchant. So we're converting everything to fire right here. We're doing a little bit of conservation, so we're not reserving so much of our energy. And then we have earth enchant, so we get more physical and fire damage, which is all being converted into fire. Pretty nice. Then we want our debuff, which is ignite. And you just want to get all this. So you can have minus 25% fire resistances on your enemy, because we are doing nothing but fire damage. And then we want to Ring of Flame. So you want to have a permanent, turn this into a permanent aura. You want to weaken their resistances. And you want Blazing Heat. So when you're very, very close to them, they take 90% more damage. Pretty nice. And I guess we'll talk about the passes. So we went with more energy because we're going to need quite a bit of reserve and energy to use our big slams, because it's 70 energy per slam, so we're going to need, you know, some energy to actually use our ability here. And then we got Earth Wielder, so we took that all the way, and we got crit chance on hits and attack damage. And then we went into Earth Attunement, so we can get physical and fire damage and area damage. This is considered a area attack and weapon damage, which we are scaling off of our weapon, so that is perfect. Then we went into Combustion, and we just went with a little bit of explosion chance, nothing too crazy. Because you don't really want to invest any more points into this anyways, because you're going to lose out in a lot of damage. So that is it for Earth. So let's go into Rogue, and for our aura preparation, we went with weapon coating, which the plus 27 weapon damage gets converted into fire. And then we have a little bit of ability damage in there, so we're getting physical damage %, which is pretty nice, because we are still a little bit of physical that's being converted into fire. So we're getting a little bit from that. And then conservation, put 2 points into that, so I'm not struggling on energy here. And then we have our mark. When we mark an enemy, they're weakened. And then when we mark an enemy, we take advantage of this passive right here, which we get 78% more damage. And we do critical hit chance, we get better crit chance, and we lower the resistances. Then we have Vanish. You want to use Vanish and Dodge pretty much at the same time to capitalize on this big burst of damage. So we're going to get 100% increased damage and we're a little bit of crit chance. So that little bit of crit chance, if you can see down here, we got 94% crit chance. When I pop my Vanish, my Dodge, now we're at 143%. And that 43% is going to allow us to sometimes do super crits, which is going to hit really, really hard. So anytime you have any kind of percent over 100, that is going to be your percent to actually do a super crit. So we got a 43% chance to land a super crit. Pretty nice. So yeah, I explained Mark of Death, I explained Vanish. Let's go into the passive. So we went into Accuracy to get more crit chance and crit damage multiplier. We went into Deft Hands just to get a little bit more damage. And we went up into Volatile Concoction to get more fire damage. So you want to max this out, and you want to do this one first. The burning chance is not exactly helping us out, but hey, I had the extra feet, might as well. And this is definitely not going to help us, actually. Maybe the 10% fire damage would help us. Let's test it out. 985, okay. Was it, did it go up? Was it 8,985? Oh, it does go up. So we, oh. Well, we don't have any shadow, so that's okay. But we could hit 10% fire, okay. Yeah, choose that. Alright, and you don't want to max out Deft Hands. You want to max out this right here because you get more percent in fire than you do percent in regular flat regular damage here. So you only get 3%, whereas if you go into here, you get 5% more. Plus the fire scales up a little bit better because our main damage source is going to be fire anyways, because it's being converted. Then we went with sleight of hand because we're increasing our weapon damage, which is what we're mainly scaling off of anyways, which is our weapon damage. And you want attack speed. I mean, you could go with ailments if you want to try and squeeze out a little bit more DPS, but it doesn't really matter which one you choose right here, but definitely get the crit chance. But yeah, that is about it. And I just figured out how to squeeze out more damage, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, when you face an enemy, you want to mark them with your mark. You want to put your fire debuff on them. You want to vanish and dodge. And you'll be doing big juicy damage. Just like that. Almost 60,000 right there. Pretty nice. And yep, that's it for this build. You guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Peace.